Longhorn fans. The NFL draft is in the books. We sent three horns to the league, and it's honestly a pretty good draft looking at what we were expecting beforehand. And a lot of our players landed in good spots, and we'll break that down. And also, we'll touch on Tarik Black, the Michigan wide receiver transferring down to Austin to join the Texas Longhorns, providing a lot of needed help at wide receiver, especially on the outside. So we'll get into that. Keep this a short video, but just break down what happened and just kind of go into it a little bit. So, yeah, Matt, Trevor, take it away.
All right. So reviewing the Longhorns that got drafted first before going into the undrafted two. Madrid, how about talk a little bit about our top guys?
Yeah, so our drafted guys went Brandon Jones, Devin Duvernay, and then Colin. I got that right. It was Devin Duvernay, then Colin Johnson, right?
Yep.
All right. And I was when I was looking over this, I was thinking like who's in the best position to like succeed. And when I mean succeed, it's not just like winning on the winning games. It's more like just becoming a better player and like, being able to develop that early. And I believe it's going to be Brandon Jones for sure. I think don't get me wrong, the Dolphins are still a dumpster fire, but he has a great opportunity in the fact that Mika Fitzpatrick is no longer there. He got traded mid-season this past year, and I think he's going to slot in immediately at that safety position, and he's just going to be able to play center field there. And from what we've seen at Texas, he definitely has the makings of a good run stopper. It's kind of like the same thing. Obviously not as good as Mika Fitzpatrick, kind of do the same things that he did. And then secondly, Devin Duvernay, he landed in one of the best offenses in the league. And he has the skill set, he has the speed. They can put him in the backfield, they put him in the slot. He's going to be a security blanket for Lamar, and it's going to work out just fine for him. He has a lot of not a super lot of competition, but competition for touches for sure. And it doesn't help that they're in a run-heavy system. But I think they're going to find creative ways to get on the ball. And then finally, Colin Johnson. This one's I'm a little more iffy on just because they're going to go with Gardner Minshew at quarterback. And, I mean, he was a phenomenon for a while, but I mean, he wasn't amazing. The guy looks more like a backup to me than anything else. So that and he may have not even ended up at Jacksonville. He wasn't hurt this whole year, so who knows? If I can just check real quick, there's not a lot of good receivers on that team.
No.
So he may have a chance to really get a lot of playing time. But it's just the fact, I don't know, they're Leonard Fournette heavy, and I just don't think he'll get featured a lot. But he still has the prototypical build as a go up and get it type player. Starting to look right now, yeah. I mean DJ Chark, that's who it was. DJ Chark came on last year for sure, and after that, it's really iffy. It's Chris Conley, it's the Keelan Coles of the world. It's nothing too exciting. So he might get a lot of playing time on one of the wideout positions for sure.
Yeah, that'd definitely be cool. I guess kind of reviewing those picks again. Brandon Jones is, I mean, you were mentioning about him definitely likely having a starting position. That Dolphins secondary is actually really, really good now. They just traded a bunch of guys in Byron Jones, not to be confused with Brandon Jones, and then a handful of other very good players that blank in my mind at the moment. But
it's a solid secondary for sure.
Yeah, so if anything, like even if he doesn't get starts, like maybe Colin might if he shows up well. He'll at least be around really talented players that are veterans that'll help guide him, which I think is equally as important when you're going to the NFL, is to be in a place where, you know, the leadership is there and the experience.
Yeah, it's all about where you land.
Actually learn and grow, as opposed to being thrust into a position that you're maybe not ready for. So I'm excited to see him there. I'm curious, seeing Byron Jones and Brandon Jones together. I mean the two Jones.
It's a good combo. It's a good combo.
Yeah, they remind me of each other because neither of them are like ball hawks, but they're all pretty solid, tacklers,
Defenders. Yeah.
Yeah, so
they're gadget guys. You can put them a lot anywhere, really.
Definitely. And then as for Duvernay, of course, all of Longhorn Nation was very excited to hear that he landed with the Ravens.
Yeah,
even
that's
though,
a good spot for him for sure.
Yeah, even though I, in our draft prediction video, I think all of us, at least myself, had him going in the third round. But when the actual draft was happening, I was like, why haven't they called his name yet? Because there were so many receivers that got drafted ahead of him that some guys literally had almost like no film. And they're like, oh, this dude from Florida that played, basically no snaps. Let's draft him over, the leading receiver in the Big 12 and yards and catches and stuff. I'm like, come on, But obviously, from everything that we've seen from Harbaugh at the Ravens, he was super stoked to get Duvernay, and they obviously understood his talent level. They just were trying to be strategic with their drafting, I think, at the end of the day. But honestly, he could have been so good for other teams. I was shocked that Green Bay didn't take him. I thought Green Bay was going to get him after they got
Green Bay doesn't take receivers, man.
But they don't take anyone. Yeah, they're drafting weird. Very weirdly this past season. So that was a bit interesting. And then I was right before, I think in an interview I saw of Harbaugh, they were talking about how the Patriots took a guy right before him, also named Devin. And I thought he was going to be a Patriot too. And I don't know. To me, Devin Duvernay definitely strikes me as a Patriot guy.
Yeah.
If there was anyone that was, the embodiment of the Patriot way, I feel like Duvernay is, that hard nose, doesn't say a lot, but still is going to outwork you type guy. So, yeah. And then as for Colin, lastly, I don't know. I mean, that was kind of at that point, I was just hoping that, he'd get drafted.
His name was going to get called. Yeah. I was scared for a second.
I was. So we'll see what happens with Jacksonville. I mean, part of me even wonders, I wonder if Jacksonville will maybe try to get Cam Newton. Because, again, I don't know if I trust Minshew enough to be a full-time starter type guy. Like you said, he maybe be more of a backup. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, I know that Colin is a pretty good run blocker, so maybe he will fit in well on the offense.
Yeah,
with their running game.
He definitely has an opportunity to play, though.
Yeah. And then lastly, the two undrafted guys. You got Shaq going to the Bucks. Bucks needed more center help. Shaq provides that for them. I don't know if he'll really get much playing.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna put an inexperienced lineman protecting Brady.
No.
Yeah, and it's already stacked against him being undrafted.
Yeah, it'd be cool though if he manages to keep a spot and they go win a Super Bowl. It'd be nice to see him win a ring.
Yeah,
even if he doesn't.
That'd be nice, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and then lastly, Malcolm Roach going to the Saints. Dude going back home to New Orleans. Excited for him.
Yeah,
I felt really bad that he didn't get drafted. I really thought he was going to sneak his way in at the end, but didn't. So I don't know. Well, at least from what I remember last season, New Orleans had a really good D line. So
yeah, he'll be learning from Cam Jordan and Davenport. So I mean, it's not like he'll. I mean, he won't play, but people to learn from. So that's always good. I hope he makes it. But the last UT undrafted guy to go New Orleans, Little Jordan, it didn't go well for him. So I'm a little nervous in that regard. But I really hope these guys stick.
Yeah,
we're looking at a Puna Ford situation. That'd be nice.
Yeah, that'd be great if something like that happened. And you love seeing him go there because I mean,
Yeah.
he grew up there. It's him going back home. I mean, he's so
Good
New
story.
Orleans that it'd be a great story. It's like Connor Williams to go into the Cowboys, growing up
perfect.
a fan and literally being from Dallas. I mean, Connor Williams went to my high school, and I mean, we're right next to, it's Cowboys country up there. So
yeah,
it's always cool seeing the hometown guys go to their hometown team.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, Myers, let's move on to Tarik Black news. Cover that a bit. You want to take the lead on that?
Yeah, so as y'all know by now, I'm sure Tarik Black finally announced that he's transferring to Texas. He's a grad transfer, so he's immediately eligible. But yeah, it's something that we've been hearing like rumbles of for quite a while now, and it was kind of between us and him going home to Boston College. He's from Connecticut. He was the number one player in Connecticut back in 2017, and he's a high 4-star guy. But what we're getting in Tarik Black is just a really good athlete. He's 6'3", around 220, but he's also got speed like way more than Colin Johnson. He's a home run threat, and he kind of got ruined at Michigan mainly because of injuries. He hurt both of his feet, so he like missed most of all 2018. And then he couldn't really get back in the rotation in 2019. But a lot of that was because Shea Patterson really is just not a good quarterback, or he's not the type of quarterback to like let his receivers feast. And
inaccurate.
But
the whole story, though.
I mean, yeah. And then he had Harbaugh's system, which is just not offensive friendly at all. It's more of a grinded out type of system. Yeah. So Tarik Black, he's coming to Texas. He's 22 years old, which means that he knows like this is kind of his last chance if he wants to get the eyes of the NFL and get drafted and go make some money. He's got to do it now. So it honestly feels good to see us like land a guy like this because, I mean, I remember him as a freshman. He was a star at Michigan. He was supposed to be their next big thing, and then injuries happened. But he sees what we've done with Colin Johnson, Duvernay, and Lil Jordan Humphrey. He's seen the track record, and we're finally putting players in the league, at least at wide receiver, and we're seeing Jake Smith do well as freshman. It's a very receiver-friendly offense that we run, and we have Sam Ehlinger senior year. Hopefully, Tarik Black will slot in nicely across the other side from Brennan Eagles, and then you have Jake Smith and Woodington in the slot. It's just a lot of weapons there, and if Tarik Black can stay healthy, I think he can definitely work his way up into the draft. He's got that type of talent, so I think he's coming to Texas to end up being drafted, and he just really helps us out a lot in the position that we need help at.
Yeah, without question. He reminds me a lot of Brennan Eagles. Like they have like the same body type and skill sets, and it's almost eerie, like when you actually compare the two side by side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's exciting to get him. I'm assuming he'll play at the Y? No. The Z? I have it written down. Yeah, probably the Z position opposite. I always get that mixed up. But yeah, opposite of Brennan Eagles. So it'll be interesting to see how the depth chart goes because there's a lot of receivers on this team that are all competing for the same spot now, and I would say the Eagles probably has a grip over a starting job wherever he is. And
it's that other side that's kind of iffy.
Yeah, Jake Smith and Whittington are definitely going to be the slot guys, but then it's that other, that other Z position, or even the X if Brennan Eagles doesn't stay there. A lot of moving pieces. We'll see what happens with it.
I'm excited though. We basically got him in a contract year. If we're going to make this analogy to the NFL, like he's gonna be playing for his money. He's gonna be playing to be drafted. I'm excited, and he's got the talent. It's not like we're just getting some random guy from a random small school like a JUCO or something. Like this guy was born to be ready and to be in this type of offense. He just didn't get the shot. So I'm really excited. And I saw this coming out of nowhere. I didn't even know this was in the making. So I'm glad he chose us.
Yeah.
It's like a gift.
Right. Yeah, I was
Sure. Yes, sir.
my only fear about this is considering the times that we're in, will he be ready for the season? Considering the
Yeah,
season starts in time, because he's definitely not getting
it's
the
iffy
reps
for
that he would be
sure.
getting. So I
No, it's
don't,
iffy for
I
sure.
don't know.
We have to see.
Yeah, he'll have to learn on the fly. Unless the season's delayed, then he'll be able to adjust nicely, I
Right.
guess. But yeah, I mean, he's a veteran though. He's 22 years old. He's played a lot of football in his life. I'm sure he's already talking to Yurcich and Andre Coleman about like our route tree and everything. And I'm sure he's connected with Sam. I'm sure he's definitely taking it very seriously just because all the money on the line. Because he's got NFL draft potential for sure. So and he knows that. So he's got to make sure he goes all in this year to get there.
Most definitely. All right. Anyone else have any final points? Myers, anything in regards to the draft? We're kind of working around your – Myers has a bit of a lag going, so we're working around that. Again, kind of dealing with the times right now. Of course, we'd love to be in the studio, but taking the safe route here, taking the practical one. Any thoughts on the draft?
Yeah, the one thing that I really loved about the draft is just seeing how fired up John Harbaugh was about Duvernay. One of the best, honestly, probably the best coach reaction I saw the entire draft of any coach drafting a player was Harbaugh just like fist bumping and like screaming when they found out they were getting Duvernay. He's definitely a guy that they wanted. And, I mean, yeah, it's kind of crazy how Duvernay just like his numbers were great. He produced at Texas. He's a great blocker. He ran like one of the fastest 40s receivers. He's built like a running back. I don't understand why he was so lowly thought of on the totem pole of receivers this year. I know it was a deep draft, but a lot of guys went over him that was just like, I was like, come on, seriously?
Very,
This dude,
yeah.
Brandon Ayuk from Arizona State. Like, I didn't understand that. But, yeah, I mean, it's just good to see Duvernay land in a spot where he's really wanted, and I'm sure they'll use him to do his best, like his maximum potential for sure with Lamar Jackson. It'll be a lot of fun to see them just light it up on the scoreboard.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you all say that – I know that Baltimore and Dallas both had pretty great draft classes. If y'all had to pick one of those, who do you say won the draft?
Dallas.
Yeah, I had to say Dallas in this, just because they kept their a division rival from getting a really high grade receiver, and just basically boxing them out. They were playing some chess on the rivals, and maybe I'm biased, but still, that's a grade A move, and I think if you do that, then you're doing pretty well while still addressing your problems on other things, on other positions. Yeah, I think that puts you over the top.
Yeah. Yeah. Dallas had a pretty solid draft. I still think Baltimore was really good too.
Oh,
They got a lot of super talented guys, especially on the offensive side of the ball, getting both Duvernay and J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah.
To go with Lamar Jackson and Mark Ingram and all that. Like, oh gosh, that offense is going to be impossible to stop. All right, guys, that wraps it up for the show. Thank you all for watching. As always, remember to subscribe, like, and comment, and continue to give us suggestions over what you'd like to see. We have another video coming out relatively soon, so you can get excited for that. But we'll continue to be giving you all the content, trying to get a little creative in light of all the times we got right now. But y'all continue to stay safe. Continue to use your heads wisely in these times of coronavirus. Everyone take care. Hope to see y'all around.
Thanks, guys.
Later.
See ya.